Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We have Roslyn with us, and she's going to be talking about men's health. She is a certified nutritional consultant and board certified in integrative medicine. She has over 25 years experience, but August 1st will mark Roslyn's 14th anniversary with nutraceutical. Welcome, Roslyn, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Jennifer, for doing this and making my beautiful pictures again. I don't know what I would do without you. So welcome to my webinar this morning on men's health that I have entitled, Be the Man You Want to Be. Before I begin, I've been instructed to read my disclaimer. The information in this webinar is for education purposes and is meant for nutraceutical employees only. Do not copy or distribute to retailers or consumers. All information in this webinar is the sole responsibility of me, the presenter, and has not been reviewed or approved by Nutraceutical Corporation. The products that I will discuss are not intended to diagnose, not to cure, treat any disease, damage, or dysfunction. I'm also adding this sentence, that no matter what I might say in this webinar, it is without judgment on my part of a normal behavior. For me, there isn't a normal, but subjective to each of us individually of the men and women we are, as long as there isn't physical or emotional abuse or bullying. I'm wondering if some of you might be thinking, why would a woman be doing a man's health webinar on the prostate gland, erectile dysfunction, males' hormones, or their libido? It's a fair question. Well, some of my credentials for doing this training are, I have a brother, 2 grown sons, 4 grandsons, 2 great-grandsons, and quite a few nephews. If those are not credentials enough, how about the fact that I've had 3 husbands? Let me assure you, those are credentials enough. And I'll also throw in a bit of education by Dr. Ruth. I'm beginning with an assumption that sex for a man never gets old, no matter how old a man gets. Age does introduce new challenges, both mental and physical, but luckily our company has many incredible formulations that have proven through the years to help with many of the issues men may experience. During this training, I will be discussing erectile dysfunction, ED for short, prostate health and BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia, the importance of testosterone for men, known as your T levels, and men's libido, as well as some of the nutraceutical products that may help achieve hormonal balancing. I could certainly spend this hour speaking about the negative effects the environment plays on both men and women's hormones. But from my last webinar and all the years we've traveled together, I'm sure you have knowledge about how xenoestrogens from the environment disrupt our hormones. In my experience, the studies I've read, the adult men that I've spoken with, correlates his sexual behavior or lack of it to his overall happiness and well-being. If anyone doesn't agree with my assumption that libido, the definition being the energy of the sexual drive as a component of the life instinct, if you don't agree that it is important, at least we can all agree that a man's health, his energy, health of his prostate, has a lot to do with having a hormonal balance, and for a man, that's very much about testosterone. Everyone knows that menopause is a major event in a woman's life, but do you know that men go through their own version of menopause called andropause? And while the hormones of a man might be different, how andropause affects him is very similar to women. Testosterone is the man's major hormone, and as he gets older, there is a normal gradual decline. And in its waning tide creates uncomfortable symptoms like decreased muscle mass, developing a paunch, low energy. Sometimes men even have breast, insomnia, hot flashes, irritability, memory lapses, urinary issues, and the ever pain in the neck, erectile dysfunction, along with a low libido. Viagra and Cialis can help at the moment, but it doesn't help with desire, or in other words, the sexual drive. And just as I believe that women can push back her clock of aging, I believe the same for men. And we don't have to look too far, as Nutraceutical has so many products to help increase testosterone levels and get rid of the many symptoms that men have, so that you can be the man you want to be. I'm going to begin the discussion of men's health with ED, urinary and prostate issues, so that we don't end this discussion with a downward spiral, pun intended. As I have traveled the United States, I've seen so many men complaining. I've heard so many men complaining, men of all ages, that they are experiencing erectile dysfunction. A man, and the definition, a man can't get or keep an erection firm enough for satisfying intercourse. There are many reasons for this. It could be diabetes and the drugs needed to be taken, heart disease, high cholesterol and those drugs, high blood pressure, obesity, alcohol abuse, stress, not enough sleep, relationship problems, and low testosterone. The ongoing complaints are not only from mature men, but from younger men too, complaining about ED, erectile dysfunction, even when they're on no diseases or medicines as an excuse, just low T levels. In today's market, there are drugs to quick fix, but with certainty, as drugs can fix, they then create other bodily symptoms that then need fixing. With all the many reasons for erectile dysfunction and prostate enlargement, environmental disruptions, hormonal imbalances, low libido, there is a beaming light at the beginning and the end of this tunnel. By investigating, as we will do today, the formulas in NutriProducts that may help raise the all-important nitric acid, the herbs tested and true that may shrink hyperplasia and boost T levels, so that you guys can be the man you want to be. Next slide, Jennifer. So before we get into some of these amazing Solarate products, most of them, when you see something for prostate and urinary, have saw palmetto and pygeum. So let's talk about what those are for a moment. Saw palmetto is a type of palm native to the southeastern part of the U.S. The berries of this plant have a long history to help with prostate health. In fact, the German Commission E, which evaluates natural therapeutic properties, has given its blessing to saw palmetto and prostate health. Saw palmetto is also used to help male pattern baldness, and women have used it to enlarge their breasts. In my experience, though, for women, I think fenugreek actually works better. The prostate lies between the bladder and in front of the rectum, and as men get older, it is not uncommon for the prostate to become enlarged and for a man to develop BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia, or inflammation and swelling around the prostate. BPH often happens because of an enzyme, 5-alpha reductase, which cause overproduction of DHT, dihydrotestosterone. And DHT is the result of a hyperform of testosterone that can damage prostate cells. And a couple of the symptoms of DHT are frequent nighttime urination, feeling that the bladder is not quite empty, and saw palmetto reports tremendous success in alleviating those symptoms, as saw palmetto is a natural inhibitor of 5-alpha reductase. Another benefit of using saw palmetto is that it can promote hair growth for men with male pattern baldness. It is believed that the hormone that creates an enlarged prostate, DHT, is also the cause of male pattern baldness. An enlarged prostate may also affect men's sexual performance, and there are many studies that suggest that when about 320 milligrams of saw palmetto are taken for about 8 weeks, it can help reduce that enlargement. In addition to saw palmetto, usually you will find good formulations that have pygeum along with saw palmetto. Pygeum is an herb taken from the bark of the African cherry tree. It is also known as the African plum or Prunus africanum, and along with saw palmetto is a very popular treatment of BPH or enlarged prostate. Pygeum has what is called hydrocyanic acid, which has a mild almond flavor, and sometimes the milk extracted from pygeum is used as a substitute for drinking or cooking with almond milk. Some other important ingredients in pygeum are beta-sitosterol and its esters, and ferulic acid and its esters. Other than helping with BPH, pygeum has been used to treat malaria, fevers, urinary flow, and nighttime urination, stomach aches, kidney pain, and for this webinar, sexual desire. It has also been used for men and women as a DHT blocker to help with hair growth. Now, let's get to some of these products. The first one that we see is called, from Solaray, Prostate Defense. This formula is as a multivitamin is to the body to prevent disharmony and to run smoothly. This formula is for the prostate to perform without defect. It has a supportive concentration of isoflavone, genistein from soy, that has a very good track record for preventing hormone-related problems in men. And although soy is estrogenic, research shows that taking a limited amount does not impair men's semen quality or the volume, but it is protective of the prostate. This product also contains the protection of zinc, saw palmetto, lycopene, nettles, green tea, licorice, indole-3 carbinol that blocks harmful estrogens, and all these ingredients that we've used for a long time to maintain prostate health. There is also ellagic acid, which is a natural phenol antioxidant that's found in many fruits and vegetables that can remove toxins from the body and protect it from free radicals. Ellagic acid has shown some protection of inhibiting cell growth in the prostate. And some of the fruits that you might find at high levels would be strawberries, pomegranates. So for 3 capsules in this prostate defense, you have 20 milligrams zinc, 160 milligrams saw palmetto, 100 milligrams isoflavones from soy, the support of nettles, pumpkin seed, licorice, indole-3 carbinol, ellagic acid, and lycopene. The next formula is Prostate Maintain 600. As we know, any good man's formula for a healthy prostate and urinary system should have the supportive ingredients of B6, pumpkin seeds, and zinc. And we all know how important zinc is for the immune system. But for a man, zinc is equally important for warding off erectile dysfunction. Zinc helps a man's body make testosterone. Low levels of zinc also have shown to be a correlation between the sense of smell and libido. So very often when there is a zinc deficiency, it will also affect smell and at the same time have the man complaining of a low libido. You also have in this formula the free-form blend of glutamic acid, glycine, and alanine. That's also been found through the years to be very effective in reducing the size of the prostate as well as relieving symptoms of benign prostatic hypertrophy. So for 2 vegetarian capsules, you have the B6, zinc, copper, 600 milligrams of saw palmetto, 50 milligrams pumpkin seed, 35 milligrams pygeum, and of course the other traditional herbal supplements. The last one here that we're showing, and there are so many others, is the Solar Ray pygeum and saw palmetto. For 6 veggie caps, you get 300 milligrams of saw palmetto with guaranteed 85% fatty acids and plant sterols, 100 milligrams and guaranteed 13% of plant sterols. And this is very important, the sterols, the high amounts. There's also 800 milligrams of cranberry. So this is a wonderful combination for urinary and prostate health. Now, cranberry have amazing substances called proanthocyanins that stop bacteria from attaching themselves to the lining of the urinary tract, which in turn helps prevent urinary tract infections from developing. Besides that, cranberries are known to be anti-inflammatory, antioxidants too. And some studies have also shown that cranberries can be very beneficial to reduce the symptoms associated with an enlarged prostate. So in this formula, for 6 veggie caps, you have 20 milligrams B6, 15 milligrams of zinc, 800 milligrams of cranberry extract, 320 saw palmetto, 100 pygeum. And I personally see and have heard this as a wonderful formula for both urinary flow and prostate health. Next slide, please. So here we have some transdermal creams, body creams for men. We'll begin the first one with the Life Flow Testomax for men, formulated with Tribulus, Tangadali, horny goatweed, Macuna pruriens, and DHEA, which we will be explaining as the webinar goes on. So I think most of everybody knows that maintaining a healthy testosterone level is one of the most important steps a man can take to regain health and improve sexual performance. No man likes to admit it, but a lagging libido is a major problem. The anatomy of a man is both robust and delicate, but as you get older, the amount of testosterone drops significantly every year. Life demands, the environment can also contribute to fatigue and a general loss of energy. And as a result, men's sexual performance is affected. The machinery still works to some degree, but with less vim and vigor. Other areas of the body that may also be affected with a low testosterone level, men complain about depression, decreased sense of well-being, ED, erectile dysfunction, fatigue, male breasts, increased body fat, thinning of bone, difficulty with memory. But we have so many different products that you are hearing about and will continue to hear about today that can and will increase T levels. One of them is a product that I'm very familiar with from LifeFlow called TestroMax for Men. It's a transdermal cream that has amazing testimonials of how it has helped so many men in the 13 years that I've been with the company. This product does not actually contain testosterone hormone, but homeopathics as precursors. The homeopathics are ones that have been studied and approved of stimulating the adrenals in a man so that they produce testosterone, with the pre-measured pump providing approximately 75 milligrams of a testosterone-boosting complex. You apply it on your skin, and it also has 15 milligrams of DHEA, USP, which is United States Pharmacopoeia. And in this body cream, there is also Tongat Ali, Tribulus horny goatweed, and Mucuna pruriens. In addition, and very important, is the dim and saw palmetto in this mixture. And they work to inhibit the aromatase of conversion to estrogen while a man is raising testosterone levels. Among the thousands of herbs used, a very select few are known as sexual tonics, and LifeFlow chose the most revered to enhance the sexual life force in a man. By the way, when LifeFlow developed this, it was after learning that Harvard had endorsed topical application for a man to boost his testosterone levels. So this product you use 3 weeks on and 1 week off. The best places to put this cream are the forehead and the perineum, that being the flat surface between the anus and the testicles. So you have 75 milligrams of the testosterone boosting formula of homeopathics, 15 milligrams DHEA with dim and soft palmetto. Next, let's talk about progesterone. From LifeFlow, transdermal. Men make progesterone. They need it to help make testosterone and for the adrenal glands to make cortisol. Males synthesize progesterone in amounts less than women, about 1/3 to half the amount, but it's still vital for guys. Men who have BPH, the swelling of the prostate, and other male-related symptoms will really appreciate the speed of relief when progesterone is used. How do I know that? I've heard it. Men have written to me. They have called me. I know that. The hormone of progesterone has no feminizing characteristics. It helps prevent the conversion of testosterone into DHT. Although DHT hormone is useful for men, as it is responsible for male sexual development, for your body hair, your libido, if too much is made, it can cause sleep apnea, loss of scalp hair at the temples and on the crown, aggression, high blood pressure, and might stimulate the growth of prostate cells and cause BPH, the swelling in the prostate. Because of the many xenoestrogens from the environment and from food, and the fact that as men get older, they produce less testosterone, at which time estrogen levels begin to rise. So progesterone can and may balance that estrogen, which builds up in the male body. It helps, progesterone helps to counteract the effects of too much estrogen. And let us not forget that progesterone is a precursor to testosterone. Progesterone has been shown to help with the frequency of urination at night. It helps to shrink the prostate. Men develop a thickening, and this progesterone may help to reduce that thickening and create less symptoms of benign prostatic hypertrophy, so that men don't need to get up all night and they feel more rested when they get up in the morning. So each pump provides 10 milligrams of progesterone, saw palmetto to stop the aromatase in making estrogen, 15 milligrams DHEA, 3 weeks on and 1 week off. And the place is the forehead, the perineum. Again, I think I've explained where that is. Next, we have DHEA, again from LifeFlow, a transdermal cream. So DHEA has been called the fountain of youth hormone and touted as the ultimate muscle-building, weight loss, immune rejuvenator with capital letters, brain functioning, stress reliever, feel younger hormone. And even in the healthiest of men, it predictably declines. Level of DHEA rise steadily beginning at puberty, peaks at about 20, 25 years of age, and after that there's a steady decline of about 2% a year, whereas by age 40, men begin to feel the results of this decline. Around 65, on the average, a man's own body makes only 10 to 20% of the DHEA that he made at 20. So DHEA is produced mostly in the adrenals from cholesterol and is the most abundant hormone in the human body. It is also one of the most significant age-related biomarkers other than testosterone. There have been thousands of studies on DHEA by distinguished medical centers, including Harvard, Stanford, and the University of Wisconsin, and has been reported by numerous studies that DHEA can protect men against heart disease, can improve memory, strengthen the immune system, prevent bone loss, fight fatigue and depression, reduce body fat, and of course, enhance your libido and get rid of erectile dysfunction. People who take DHEA also report sleeping better and notice an improvement in their memory and in their concentration. We all know that aging is normal and is a biological process. We also know that hormones impact human aging parameters, so why wouldn't all the men try? I don't understand why all of you wouldn't go and order a pre-measured push-in a smear of the LifeFlow transdermal DHEA 30 milligrams for men. I was told by our PhD scientist, Dr. Joe, when he developed LifeFlow's transdermal cream, that a person taking an oral pill would need 5 times more milligrams than one you use on your skin. Remember, anything you swallow creates the first pass of the liver. Doesn't happen with transdermal. When you have that first pass, pills might get stored, and then there is stomach acid to destroy levels. So LifeFlow's DHEA USP cream is, of course, hygienically sealed, also has been formulated with ginseng, saw palmetto to inhibit the aromatase conversion to estrogen. All that is very important. The directions, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. The places that have good absorption, the forehead, as well as inner arms, any place that's not hairy, comes in a 4-ounce size, and each ounce provides approximately 20 pre-measured pushes each ounce, and this comes in a 4-ounce. Next slide, please, Jennifer. We also have DHEA from Natural Balance that contains 424 milligrams with a proprietary blend of guarana, catuaba, yohimbe, marijuana, and Korean ginseng, and 25 milligrams of DHEA. So we have that. Now let's go to DIM, and we have the Natural Balance DIM that also contains 200 milligrams of maca, and 150 milligrams of dim and 50 milligrams of broccoli. Let's begin with the maca. Maca is considered an adaptive herb from cruciferous vegetables, and it's part of the mustard family. It grows very high up in the hills of Peru, where the terrain is very difficult to grow much else. Maca is known as a hot plant that has been confirmed in many studies, especially in 2002 in the journal Andrologia, where 40% of men taking maca for 3 months reported an increase in their virility. In different cultures, especially the Peruvian and African culture, it is known to increase strength, stamina, energy, sexual function, and virility for men and for women. When I visited Peru, I was amazed to find maca in ice cream, in sodas, in blended drinks, and it was sold everywhere where people bought newspapers and cigarettes. In Peru, maca is actually used as a food and it's cooked with, doesn't spoil it. According to Chris Kellum, in his book, Hot Plants for Men, it is a potent aphrodisiac. Maca plants can be red, green, black, pink, yellow, or cream colors. The plant is harvested and dried and can last 7 years before using it without it spoiling. The plant is very hardy, and it's made up of 50% carbohydrates, 10% protein, abundant amounts of lipids, of the linoleic, palmitic, and oleic acids. It's very high in sterols, iron, calcium, and potassium. The sterols are probably the agents that most likely increase desire. With the continued use of maca, you can undoubtedly feel more alive and notice an increase in your libido. Now to explain a bit about dim, this mixture is named actually. Dim, or dimendyl methane, is a compound from cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, and cabbage. It is very helpful for shuttling estrogen out of the body and to help with a healthier metabolism of estrogens. There is an abundance of xenoestrogens from environment that get into different receptors and cause hormonal imbalances, especially with men's testosterone levels. When men take DIM, it's an adjunct to help protect you from having ED or prostate symptoms by lessening estrogens. This might also help men who might have developed breasts, help shrink them. The added broccoli in this formula also has the potential to work as a detoxifying agent for the liver. DIM has also shown in men to act as an aromatase inhibitor. Estrogens, guys, aren't your hormone. Anything you can do to lessen estrogen and free up testosterone is a plus. And Natural Balance promotes this as a great adjunct for maintaining balance. Next slide, please. Before we get into some of these sexy herbal combinations, let's talk about something that's very important and what many of these products will do, and that is nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a molecule that's produced naturally by the body and is important for different aspects of health. Its most important function is as a vasodilator, meaning it relaxes the inner muscles of the blood vessels, causing them to widen and increase circulation. The benefits of nitric oxide as a vasodilator is to help exercise performance, helps lower blood pressure, helps with muscle soreness, helps diabetes, and for this webinar, it helps with erectile dysfunction. If we can get enough blood circulating in the man's penis, we will be rid of erectile dysfunction. Hopefully you can wait a moment or two before you begin ordering the different Nutra products that will help your solution, and so you can become the man you want to be. Okay, so now we have some amazing products for testosterone, energy, and vitality. Jennifer did such a beautiful job to make them all outstanding. Let's begin with the Natural Balance Yohimbe. From Chris Killam's book, Hot Plants, and he is the source, gathering hot plants from all over the world, including jungles. And he claims of all the hot plants, Yohimbe is the best known. And it's found in the forests of Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, Gabon, and the Congo, and it grows about 80 feet in height and has many alkaloids. An alkaloid is an organic compound of plant origin that may have physiologic actions in human. I know that morphine actually is an alkaloid. Yohimbe is the main alkaloid in the yohimbe bark and is known as a fast-acting central nervous system stimulant with specific action upon the nerves of the lower spine. It causes dilation of the peripheral vessels, which in our language creates a firm erection. This action is what has given yohimbe its reputation as a sexual stimulant. Boy, that picture is very interesting. By the way, yohimbe is used in different sex drugs, both by prescription and over the counter. It can cause agitation, rapid heartbeat, sleeplessness, so please use with good discretion. It really helps promote nitric oxide that helps dilation of the blood vessels to increase blood flow. And bodybuilders also use this as it helps with fat loss. Next one is super horny goat weed, also by Natural Balance, with yohimbe, tribulus, macuno, copper, zinc, and the most wonderful L-arginine. My question, how in the world did an herb get its name and also do what the name says it does? Horny. An informal definition of horny, meaning the person is sexually aroused. Horny goatweed is considered a ferocious yin-yang, and its reputation is to do just that for women and men. It is called upon often as a natural Viagra. And according to ancient legend, there lives in the wilds of China a remarkable beast known as the yin-yang. His sexual vigor has been documented all these thousands of years later, and his diet consisted only of the fresh greens of the epimedium plant known as horny goat weed. It is one of the best-selling libido-boosting herbal supplements of all time, and according to Chris Kellam in his book entitled Hot Plants, he said he's never known anybody to find fault with it. It's used in traditional Chinese medicine to restore sexual energy, treat impotence, and strengthen connective tissue. It's also used to treat memory and blood pressure due to menopause in women. The green leaves of the plant contain a variety of flavonoids and polysaccharides. Studies have shown that this plant activity is similar to androgens, which are sex hormones that naturally stimulate desire in men and women. Usually in traditional Chinese medicine, isolated herbs are not generally used, but are in combination with other herbs that complement each other. So Natural Balance definitely has this formula of yohimbe in there, which we have already discussed. And it also has, in this powerful formula, Tribulus terrestris, and this is an annual plant grown in the dry regions of Africa, North America, and Australia. It's been around a very long time and has been reported to have many health benefits and often used in Chinese and Ayurvedic medicine for balancing blood sugar, lowering cholesterol levels, helping kidney stones not form, and also with libido or sexual desire. Most herbs that help to increase libido also help increase testosterone. Tribulus has not shown to do that. So that it also, although it helps with desire, it doesn't have effect on building muscle as other herbs do that will increase testosterone. Next in that formula is Mucuna, known better as Mucuna pruriens. The seeds and leaves used in Ayurvedic medicine to lower stress levels and reduce anxiety, improve focus, elevate mood, and boost libido. It is also used to promote muscle growth, increase strength, and raise testosterone levels, helping men and women in their sex drive. In this formula, you also have copper and zinc. Zinc is vital for the development and function of the male sex organ. When there is a zinc deficiency, sperm count is reduced and there's less developed testes. It is used in most formulas to treat erectile dysfunction and very important to increase testosterone levels. Now, copper, the mineral, is also very important for growth, also for making red blood cells, keeping our nervous system healthy, and very much needed for the immune system, and for male fertility, libido, and overall health. We know foods such as seafood and nuts, veggies, and fruits have copper, and usually you find copper in male libido-boosting products. Now, one of the most important ingredients for erectile dysfunction is L-arginine, HCl. Arginine is an amino acid that helps make protein and a powerful neurotransmitter, triggering chemical changes. It becomes the gas nitric oxide for erectile functioning, helping blood vessels relax. The more oxygen-rich blood can circulate through your arteries, the more blood in the penis, there will be no more complaining of ED. The HCl in this formula is the hydrochloride salt form of arginine, which helps to neutralize the pH, making it more available to be utilized than plant arginine. Besides helping blood flow, arginine is very important for our connective tissues and muscles, providing more energy when we exercise. Please remember, this is a powerful product. Don't use it if anyone has heart irregularities, high blood pressure. As you can see, it states for super horny. Next, we have Long Jack. I love these names. This is really Tungat Ali. Tungat Ali is one of the most powerful aphrodisiac plants on earth. Hey, ladies, you could take it too. Don't ask me how I know that. Tungat Ali is a very popular folk name for Euricoma longifolia, which is a medium-sized slender tree reaching about 32 feet high. The name in Malaysia, Thailand, Lower Burma, and Indonesia means Ali's walking stick, or by another name, Long Jack. The root of this plant in the countries I just mentioned has been a treatment for not only erectile dysfunction, but malaria, high blood pressure, fevers, fatigue, and the loss of sexual desire and impotence. In some countries, it's an ingredient found in more than 300 different products, such as herbal syrups, root chips, soft drinks, and other products. Tangat Ali is a scientifically studied plant and under close observation showed that the root contains many beneficial compounds such as antioxidants, and it's antiviral, anti-malaria, and there is one compound found in the Tangat Ali root called quasinoids that is said to be twice as potent as aspirin for fevers. Let's skip all the other stuff it does and get to the heart of this webinar. The root boosts sex drive and sexual function for men and women by increasing testosterone. So if that be true, and Chris Killam states this in the book, Hot Plants, Tangat Ali is a safe sexual fountain of youth. The last, but certainly not least, is a wonderful product, Deer Antler Velvet Buck Power. It's from New Zealand, from the red deer, which the antler velvet powder is extracted from. Deer antler is very interesting. It's a highly popular food around the world, especially Asia, where it's used for many health benefits. There are deer antler farms that produce over 2 million pounds of this velvet powder, New Zealand producing half of that amount. Deer antler grows on the heads of bucks, stag, and bulls in the early spring and summer. Deer antler velvet has the short name of velvet antler and refers to the velvety hair-covered skin that secretes protein and growth factors that grow at a very fast speed. The sticks, as they are called, are not bones, but unique tissue that is high in bioactive protein, which is actually collagen. The velvet antler powder also contains lipids and trace minerals. The harvesting of deer antler velvet is painless, does not kill the deer, and is done according to the code of good practice. The removal of the sticks are hygienically processed to a unique concentration. It's a very lengthy process involving repeated boiling and drying of these velvet sticks. They are graded and sold accordingly. Different parts of the antler contain different nutritional benefits and used for different reasons to support health, wellness, and fitness performance. The natural occurring peptides from the antler consist of growth factors like IGF-1 that naturally supports healthy hormone function in everyone and increases testosterone in those with a male organ. One of the major ways that a deer antler works is by supporting the blood through the heart, the brain, muscles, and joints, so you have enough strength and energy necessary to perform sexually. And deer antler may be just what you need. Next slide, please. Okay. Chocolate, the love drug. Ancient civilization considered cacao, where chocolate is made from, a life-enhancing medicinal superfood. I'm not talking about Hershey. Theobroma cacao, the tree that bears the seeds that we call cacao, are a concentrated source of antioxidants that may be able to lower blood pressure, improve cholesterol levels, enhance heart health, regulate blood sugar, and lower levels of stress hormones. A British medical journal found that those who ate the most chocolate had 37% less risk of heart disease, 31% less risk of diabetes. And the University of California in San Diego found that people who ate chocolate were thinner, possibly because of the antioxidants in the beans that improve metabolism. By the way, again, I would like to emphasize these studies were with dark chocolate. Plus, chocolate can be considered one of the most enduring products of all time. You could also make the assumption that by means of aroma, of taste, it seduces the palate and the imagination. The theobromine in chocolate is related to caffeine, and it is a central nervous system stimulant. The chemical gets right to the heart of sexual pleasure by increasing the brain's level of serotonin, which is the feel-good brain chemical. The PEAs in chocolate, the phenethylamine, activates dopamine. They're actually PEAs, which activates dopamine, which is a neurochemical directly associated with sexual arousal and pleasure. I'm taking a breath as we near the conclusion of this webinar. Besides eating, no other instinct is as compelling as sex. Remember, I'm speaking to the men at this moment. And when your inability to perform is interrupted, it's physically, mentally, and emotionally stressful. The lack of desire or the inability to perform can be resolved. I've spoken about just a few products that our company has. There are so many more in our cupboards. I hope this hour will help a little bit as you guys journey to restore your virility, enhance your sexual performance and desire so that you can be the man you want to be.